Hi, I hope you're well. I hope it's a little sunnier with you than it is with me. It's very grey today, but never mind. Okay, so we're looking at solving quadratics, including inequalities. Now, just reminding ourselves of inequality signs, so these sorts of things, smaller than or equal to, smaller than, bigger than or equal to. I remember the bigger is a big sign and the smaller is with the little pointy bit. If you remember crocodiles, fine with me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ignore me. Okay, so we're going to try and solve this sort of equation, inequality. To do this, you need to be able to factorize, and you need to be able to find the roots. If you're not sure about factorization, there's links here to remind you how to factorize into two brackets. Now, I really recommend strongly that you draw the graph. I know that you won't want to, but you're more likely to get the right region if you do. Okay, so I want to solve this thing, x squared minus 5x plus 4 is smaller than or equal to 0. I first factorize it into two brackets, so I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together to give me 4 and add together to give me minus 5. So I've got minus 4 and minus 1. Minus 4 times minus 1 is plus 4. Minus 4 plus minus 1 is minus 5. So that is smaller than or equal to 0. Then I want to find the roots. Now the roots are when each bracket equals 0. So when does x minus 4 equal 0? It equals 0 when x is 4. And when does x minus 1 equal 0? It equals 0 and x equals 1. Now very quickly draw the graph. It doesn't take you a second. It's now drawn. Okay, so we're looking at this graph here, and we have our 2 points when we cross the x-axis at 1 and 4, and they're your roots. That's what you found here. And then we're looking for the part of the curve. We're looking for the curve such that x squared minus 5x plus 4 is smaller than or equal to 0. So we're looking for the bit which is smaller than or equal to 0. So we're looking for the bit down here, and so we have to say which x values gives us the part of the graph which is under here, and the x values are the x values between 1 and 4. So we have x is bigger than or equal to 1, smaller than or equal to 4. And if this was a smaller than or bigger than rather than smaller than or equals to, you just use the right signs down here. Okay, so the next one, it looks like this. We want to rearrange it so we have all the numbers and letters one side, and then it's bigger than or equal to 0. So remember, when you're doing inequalities, they're sort of the same as solving or rearranging normal equations. Just be careful if you have some negatives to deal with. So we want to factorize this into two brackets. Again, you can go to my link if you're not sure about factorizing with the 2 there. If you're really desperate, you can use the quadratic formula to get the roots. Anyway, so this 2x plus 3 in one bracket x minus 2. If we expand it out, we can see we get the 2x squared minus x minus 6. So that's 2x squared. 2x times minus 2 is minus 4x plus 3 times x. So minus 4x plus 3x is minus x, and 3 times minus 2 gives you the minus 6. So you can see that that's right. Okay, so then we need to find the roots. So when this equals 0, this will equal 0 when x equals 3 over 2. So set this equal to 0. It should be minus 3 over 2 there, sorry. And this one equals 0 when x equals 2. Sketch your graph very quickly. So you've got minus 3 over 2 and 2. Now, I want the bit of the curve which is bigger than or equal to 0. So here's my line when when y equals 0 here, and I want the bit of the curve which is bigger than 0. So this time I want the bit of the curve which is above the line, the x-axis. So what values of x gets me above the line? So if I take any value of x bigger than 2, hopefully you can see when I put that into the equation, I'm going to go above the line. If I took a value here like 1, you see that will give me below the line, and I don't want to be below the line, I want to be bigger than 0. So I don't want that bit, I don't want any of that bit. And then at minus 3 over 2, hopefully you can see again, if I take any point below minus 3 over 2, I'm above the line. My curve is above the line there. So the answer is x is smaller than or equal to minus 3 over 2, or x is bigger than or equal to 2. And this is why I say draw the curve, so you can really think about which region you're looking for. Okay, I hope that's helpful. You might need to look at those once or twice just to be sure that you know which region that you're trying to find. Okay, bye.